Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Amy from With Love by Amy, and I tried really hard to get organized to make this card today. We are making a graduation card for my niece who is graduating high school, and I feel okay about posting this because she has now received the card, so she's seen it. It's no longer a surprise. And my 5-year-old did inform her at the graduation party that my mom has a YouTube channel, and it was the cutest thing ever because I don't know that my niece knew that. But yeah, so what we're doing is I misted a panel of navy cardstock. I don't know what brand it is because it was just in my collection from a long time ago. And that is a very old Cuttlebug folder. It's just random stars. This card was actually inspired by something I'd seen on Facebook by Tomily Cards, and she made a card that was. I was like, oh, I have supplies like that. I could do that. So we are going to die cut with the bold numerals die. I think that's what it's called. Bold numbers, maybe. From Altenew. We're going to die cut that out of some gold glitter cardstock, and also just a scrap. Like those are my scrap bins. You see me digging through there. Um, and I don't know what brand it is. It might have been like a bulk piece from like Michaels or something a long time ago. I don't know. But if you're interested, I will link the video of how I organize my scripts so that I use them up before I use new pieces of cardstock. And we are just trying to fit them onto these pieces of glitter cardstock the best we can so we can use up the little pieces before we go cutting into that big one. And what I'm doing here is I'm taking a piece of low tack tape, maybe it's pixie tape or something, and I'm going around to the back of the cardstock to hold the die on because, as you all know, glitter cardstock doesn't really like to let things adhere to the glitter very well, especially not stuff that's like low tack. So that's why I folded the tape over to the back so that the dies would stay in place and we wouldn't mess up any of our very precious glitter cardstock. And I think that the most time consuming thing about this card was that I wanted some dimension on the numbers because the gold glitter cardstock is very thin. And so I wanted to build up the dimension, so I die cut the numbers out of white cardstock a whole bunch of times, like 3 times, I think, just to build them up a little bit without using foam tape. And I really liked the way it turned out, but I had to run all the numbers through the die cut machine quite a few times because I only have one set of numbers. So that was probably the most time consuming part. And I tried to enlist the help of my kids, but they got bored really fast and didn't want to keep helping. The blue and gold are specifically my niece's school colors that she graduated from, so that's why I decided to do those colors. You could do any colors you wanted, like a black and white would be really cool, just elegant. But yeah, there I have all my numbers all stacked up and ready to glue together. And this is a sentiment set from Spellbinders from the Advent calendar. Um, what I'm going to do, I actually played around with it after I did the Advent calendar cards, was I actually found out that they foil. Like, I'm using Glimmer Hot Foil. I think that's the holographic. I don't even know what color that one is, but it's like a light holographic. I'm going to heat. Um, I'm gonna foil it onto some black cardstock, and I'm gonna try using my little trimmer here to cut the foil. Let's see how this works because I've never done this before. And yeah, as long as you hold it securely and push the blade towards the cutting part of the die or the you know little trimmer, it works pretty well. But if you don't, it kind of messes it up. We're going to cut the little piece of foil in half because you don't want to have a ton of extra foil so it doesn't get any overfoiling from um, the little sentiment strip there, especially because it's not meant to foil. Like that was not what it was intended for, I don't think. Because I did look at Spellbinders website and it doesn't say anything about foiling on similar sentiment sets, so I decided to just give it a try and see if it worked, and it does work pretty well. As long as you let it heat up enough and you go slowly through the die cut machine, because my first one, it didn't have as great of coverage, but that looks really cool. I'm obsessed. So yeah, love it. I did do a couple of them just so that I could have some extras because I already had the glimmer machine plugged in and everything, so I figured why not? And I had extra little pieces of foil cut. Super cool. Loved it. And we're just going to keep them in the stash. And then I also decided that I wanted a little bit of dimension on this the sentiment as well. So I did take that die and run it through with another piece of black cardstock and just layer them up. And then I didn't like how long they were compared to the sentiment. So I trimmed them down, but I don't see that here in this part of the video, but I did trim them down using my little banner end punch, or I could have just re-trimmed them or whatever with the die. But there they are. And I'm gonna trim this panel down because it works for a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch piece of paper or cardstock, but I just didn't like how the stars didn't, they were on the edges. I just didn't like that. So I decided to trim it down. So it'd be 4 by 5 1/4. So it'd be a nice little border around there. And then we are going to figure out where the numbers are going to go. I'm going to actually try to be really scientific and not eyeball this here because all I do is eyeball dimensions and stuff. But since I already have the make art station there, oh, see there, I'm trimming the ends shorter on this because I didn't like how it looked. So I wanted it to be a little bit shorter. But here we are. I'm going to adhere the numbers onto the embossed panel. And I think the stars look really sharp on that. I think it's really cool. It looks very elegant. So I'm going to magnet that down to the make art station like that. And I'm going to put it on the lines so it'll be nice and even. It'll be easier for me to get the numbers straight and evenly spaced. And then we're going to put the acrylic ruler down there at the bottom where I want the numbers to be. We're going to start on one end and space it. I'm not measuring or anything, but I'm just putting them how I want, how I think they should look. And then we're going to magnet them down and go work our way in. I would do the same thing with a word. If I was writing a word, I would do the same exact thing so that everything would be evenly spaced and stuff like that. So it would look more professional than, just eyeballing it would look. And then now, since we're done with that, we are going to put some double stick tape. See, this is strong double stick tape because I know that the glitter tape or the glitter cardstock probably wouldn't take liquid adhesive very well. So I just put some strong double stick adhesive on there, double-sided adhesive, and we're just putting it on there. You can't really see in the picture, but that shine on that sentiment looks amazing. I love it. Like the glimmer hot foil, so obsessed when it turns out well. I think I finally figured it out though with my very old die cutting machine and stuff. I think I figured it out. I'm excited. But here we are trying to evenly space our card panel. That always brings me so much anxiety when I'm putting it on there. I'm like, oh no, don't let it be uneven. But I think it looks pretty good. Here's your 5 seconds of Sonic. We did paint my entryway, so that's a new paint color you're seeing back there if you've been watching my videos. Here's the final product. Let me know in the comments below what you think of it and if you would make a card like this. Definitely tag me in social media if you do. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye.